Welcome, faculty and faculty aspirants. This is the first day of November, and so we are winding down to the end of the year. So today, I'm going to discuss the topic that I titled Groundwork for Qualitative Teaching. We all know that usually one has to prepare before going into any activity. In other words, if you don't prepare well, no matter how well you know the subject matter, you probably will not be able to make a good success of your delivery. They always say that failing to plan is planning to fail. So as faculty that lecture in the universities or colleges, we want to be prepared so that we don't fail on delivery, even though we know the subject matter. So today we are focusing on our preparation before we go into classroom. And I would like to share my slide with you. Right, so it's the groundwork for qualitative teaching. So the start point is the preparation, the prep. And the preparation has to do with self-preparation and preparing the students for the class. In self-preparation, the faculty is looking at the big picture. The big picture in the subject that you're going to, in the subset you are going to deliver. Every class that you have falls within a subset, maybe a topic, and this topic is derived from the course, and then the course is derived from the degree, the program that the students are running. So you want to see the big picture. And how do you prepare to see the big picture? You want to attend the faculty meetings. And in these faculty meetings, you're going to get clarification on any area. You're going to get understanding of what other faculties will be delivering that eventually tie into the full course and the degree that the students that you are teaching are pursuing. So the subset is important because that shows us how the section we are going to teach for every class tie into the course and then ties into the degree. For students' preparation, we want to look at the pre-course education. When a lecturer enters into any class, you want to prepare the students, prepare their minds, make them understand why this lecture that you are going to deliver is important. How does it fall within the entire picture of what they are here in the university for, or the courses they are running at that point in time? So you want to be able to prepare their minds so that they understand why a particular course is being run. The next slide, I will show you how these things dovetail into one or the other. So how do they perceive each section that you are taking them on, each class that they are taking? How do they perceive it? Is it important, or is just a waste of their time being there to fulfill all righteousness? And we'll see that later. So how does the section also fit into the overall course? So the students should be made to know how the section that you are teaching fits into the overall course. And it's like a bridge building. How do you bridge the gap between the very lecture you are giving, the class you're taking now, and the degree and the courses that fall within the degree? So let's just look at this diagram. So if, for instance, a student or students are there for the degree of public policy, there are courses that run within that degree of public policy. And these include something like diversity management, leadership, government accounting, and government structure. So a particular student then let's narrow it down again to maybe diversity management. In diversity management, you can have these courses that are listed: cultural differences, cultural intelligence, cultural shocks, and cultural integration. Then a student might wonder, why am I wasting time? So he or she becomes very disinterested. Okay, what I came here to do is to obtain a degree in public policy. Yes, I can understand diversity management as part of it, but these cultural differences, I don't care about cultural differences. But you as a faculty, in trying to do that pre-course education, you're trying to tell them that, okay, eventually, if you have a degree in public policy, you'll be a public administrator. And if you do not understand the cultural differences and why some people behave in a particular way, there's no way you can manage these people. And the expectation from the public is that you should be able to manage different people from different cultures. Their cultural backgrounds should not make a difference to your managerial ability. And so you should be able to know those things that you could do even in the place of work and create cultural shocks that could make a particular worker or officer not to perform well. So you need to be able to understand all these things because they dovetail into the degree that you are pursuing. So you want to be able to understand. Now that's why the course is being taught. So with this understanding, you see that the students, they're already thinking in their brain, yes, this can be very useful for me. And then any disinterest they had might have to be removed. And then they become interested and challenged and excited about that particular class you're taking because they understand how it fits into the overall thing that they have come to do in the university. So then preparing for the lectures, the faculty member should be able to know where you should not cross borders. You know, earlier I said that for you to do this preparation, the self-preparation, you need to attend the faculty meetings. So if, for instance, you are teaching a course in accounting, the accounting courses could have management accounting, cost accounting, government accounting, and business laws. So if you are taking cost accounting instead of business law, you don't need to cross boundaries to business law. You can make references because you have already understood what the entire course entails. So if a question even comes on business law, despite the fact that you are teaching cost accounting, you should be able to make references to it. And then how does the cost accounting bridge? How could you bridge some business law by your cost accounting and all that? So you need to understand that. So they're tied together. You don't cross borders and leave your own area of teaching, which is cost accounting, and start talking about management accounting or business accounting or taxation. But you should be able to understand it because you already know the big picture. And then you make references for a short while during the delivery and then move on. Then you should be able to have clarity of points. A lecturer cannot leave students in the dark or in the lurch for them to go and figure out what you have said. Don't speak in parables, speak in clear terms and in clear languages that your audience and the students will be able to understand in a simple English too, not in ambiguous English that they will not. You make everything ambiguous when you cannot speak in straight language. So no room for ambiguity, no room for parables, no room, just make it as clear as possible for every student to understand. Then you have to prepare for pauses. Preparing for pauses means that if, for instance, the lecture is for 1.5 hours, you don't plan to talk for 1.5 hours. There has to be some pauses. That pause will enable students to even digress, ask questions, and then you begin to explain some of the things that you are making references to within the course or the program that you are running. So if you don't prepare for pauses, you'll find out that you are running against time all the time. So in your preparation for lectures, you must prepare for those pauses. And because sometimes the pause could even be on health matters or something happens in the classroom and you need to be able to be prepared for it. So the lecture delivery is very, very important. What do you do about the lecture delivery? First, you look at the timeliness and time consciousness. It's very important that when you are delivering lecture, you must be time conscious. If, for instance, your lecture is slated to start at 4 o'clock, you don't come there at 4:30 and expect to deliver a lecture of 1 hour. So time consciousness is very important, because even when you are delivering, remember that some students might have some other courses to attend immediately after your own. So you don't come in earlier than the time of 4 o'clock and you don't stay there beyond the hour of 5 o'clock if it's a 1 hour lecture. Good introduction is very key. We cannot overemphasize it. And I've said it in previous talks that we have to introduce your lecture, your class very well, and then flow from there. It's like an executive summary. So you do some form of executive summary so that the students will even catch where they are going from that good introduction. Precision. You have to be very precise in your delivery. Don't go running around everywhere to get the important thing that you want to deliver. Practice the presence. And we have said that in all the 4 weeks we have spoken, that you have to be present. You don't be an absent-minded faculty member. So be present so that you'll be able to capture the attention of the students and keep the attention of the students throughout that period of delivery. Allow for questions and answers. And the pauses that we talked about before will help you to master this area well so that you give room for questions and also good answers within the period. Maintain cordiality and respect. Without that cordiality and respect, you find out that there's going to be distractions, and students will be present there, but their backs and their hearts are turned from you. You don't want to be that kind of person that will be absent in the mind of the students. You need to command that attention. You need to earn that attention by maintaining cordiality and also respect, so that you yourself will command respect. Ensure that learning has taken place. Very, very important and critical. So if you are talking and learning has not taken place, there is no way that you will say that you are a successful faculty. It is only when learning has taken place that you will say, yes, I succeeded in the delivery today. So ensure that learning is taking place. Ask for feedbacks. Those are the things that will make you to understand that learning has really taken place. Then conclude well. Summarize at the end. So make room to summarize, to recap what you have said throughout that 1 hour lecture. So that way, sometimes some students that have been have had their minds in other places or other things, they get the real thing from the conclusion that you have given. So today I'm going to end this lecture by giving a summary from the Yale University 5-stage game plan for section delivery. So the summary kind of encompasses all that I have said today. So you prepare students to learn. We have already seen that, how you prepare students to learn and all the kind of things that you have to put into preparing the students to learn. And of course, preparing yourself to teach as well. So the students need to understand why, and that way they are ready to learn. So present new materials. It is important that if you are, for instance, if you are taking a class that is not started and finished on the same day, try to get new material to make it more challenging and interesting for the students. So if you use same material all the time, same lecture, same material, same textbook and same literature, it will get boring for some of the students. But when you introduce different materials, in your subsequent, especially those classes that are in parts and stages, then you'll find out that the interests of the students are really piqued, and so they are able to flow with those materials. So nurture student engagement. We have already said it. In the classroom, you must ensure that you have the engagement of the students. Make sure that you are present and you are looking out for those students that have been distracted and bring them back to the present again. Everybody should flow together. So encourage metacognition and reflection. What is it that you know about yourself? Can you focus on yourself? If you don't even understand yourself very well, how can you make other people to understand you? You must know the position you hold on everything. Yes, you can talk about this literature said, this author said, but what is your own position? How do you see it? So you can disagree on some, agree with some, and so on. So you have to be reflective. Lastly, provide guidance and feedback for the next class. Most classes do not start and end in the same day. Most courses do not start and end in the same day. So you have them in stages and levels. And then all you need to do is that at the end, towards the end of this class, I want to get feedback from the students. I want to tell them what we expect to treat next time, even give them advanced materials. So that way some of them will prepare and they are looking forward to the next class. So all these things are the things that help us to plan for class and to have a very interesting and successful classes. I thank you for listening and hope to see you again next week. Then we will introduce another title. Thank you, and have a truly blessed month of November and blessed week. Goodbye.